Check 1 2 1 2 1 2. Going live, baby. Live trading with the Savage of Wall Street. Let's get it going. Yes, sir. And so we are live. Let's say goodbye to Uncle Bruce. Here we go. And now let's make sure that we tell the folks on the Discord what's going on, and so they can also join us, because a lot of people that are on the Discord don't necessarily watch the Uncle Bruce channel anymore. Also, let me get this situated here. You guys like my little bear in the back? We're still trying to make sure that we get situated here, and trying to see what the market is doing at this point. Let's find out. Somebody asked about Webull on the channel, and they signed a contract with Yorkville, right? And Yorkville is a company that I don't really like, because the companies that have done business with Yorkville in the past, a lot of them go bankrupt. Now, I'm not saying that that Webull is going to go bankrupt, but I made my money with the cash secure puts, and I, sold my stock out of it. And I'm going to see what happens. I'm going to give it some time. Anyways, good morning. I am the Savage of Wall Street. Thank you for you guys that are watching, first time watchers. What's up from the West Side? I'm a little different than Uncle Bruce, obviously. He's a lot more mature, and I do drop F-bombs here and there. I'm not necessarily PG, but I'm also live trading. So anybody that's curious to see how live trades work, I'm actually working on some trades this morning. This is for educational purposes only, folks. So I'm not a financial advisor. So let me just get that out of the way, right? I'm not telling you what to do with your portfolio, but I am telling you how I trade. And by pure coincidence, if you happen to then, find it a little more, if you find it that you want to be a little more inquisitive about it and look at that trade, and you happen to say, hey, that's kind of, interesting, and then you want to research it a little more, that's all on you, right? But yeah, this is not financial advice. However, I have been trading, especially options, cash secure puts, and covered calls, some iron condors. However, my channel, I don't want to get people to start, taking unnecessary risks. So this channel, I'm basically going to be dealing with covered calls and cash secure puts only. We may dive into maybe iron condors at some point, but the very boring stocks. I'm not into the 0 day to expiry, 1 day to expiry calls. So if you want to do hedging like that, that's not going to be me. I'm not going to risk your money. I would like to treat people's portfolio like if it was my portfolio. I don't want you to take unnecessary risks, right? The market is about mitigating risks and keeping most of your money, right? Right off the bat, let me tell you, you're going to fail. You're going to fail. You're going to make a bad call. You're going to lose money here and there. But if you can keep your wins a lot more than your losses, that's the key, right? If you can win 60, 70, 80% of the time, and those wins offset your losses, you're already ahead of the market, because the market doesn't care, and it will eat you up and spit you back out. And most people actually in the stock market make money. However, the reason why I like trading options and not just trading them, but selling options and being the casino is because 90% of options die worthless. There's also that 10% that, sometimes you make money in. So, like, if you take that into account, you may win 90% of the time, 80% of the time, but um, you have to have a balance, right? And you have to have a discipline. That being said, welcome to my channel. I am the Savage of Wall Street, and we're ready to go, baby. So uh, please excuse the setup right now. I was just dealing with my children. I have three young kids, and we got to get them going in the morning, right? They're out of school at this point. So at least for now, right? They got summer break. So there's a lot going on while I trade as well. So it's a bit hectic in the mornings, but we'll get it going, man. So again, somebody asked about Webull and why I'm out. I explained it. Yorkville signed a contract with them. Yorkville has been known to be kind of a shady company, right? You can do your own research, obviously. I mean, don't take what I say for at face value. Take it with a grain of salt, because I mean, I am all about due diligence. And just because somebody on YouTube is saying, "Hey, this stock could be a good stock," don't just take their word for it. Do your own due diligence, do your research, and see if that's kind of your cup of tea, right? I don't. Um, I don't think people. I don't recommend people that trade, short term, and then they hold a company for like a couple of weeks and then come out without having a mindset where they may actually hold that company for more than a couple of years. Every stock I trade, I'm willing to hold for at least 5 years, and if that is the approach that you take, I think you're going to do well, right? There's people that were trading Tesla in the past, Google, Amazon, all these um, blue chip stocks, and they were in it for a couple of months and then they left, and they didn't hold. They didn't think these companies were worth it, and now they're kicking themselves in the ass, right? So every company I invest in, I want to hold for at least 5 years. This is why I'm in SoFi, RXRX, Enphase, AI, Unity, um, Rivian, GME, Archer, Roblox, SFCI, Sentinel One, Lucid, Open Door Technologies, BBAI. Um, every company that I talk about, in the interest of full disclosure, I trade. And that's also a difference between me and other YouTubers, is that I actually am trading the companies I talk about. So I'm a little biased. So again, do your research. I'm not being the Pied Piper here telling people to just buy what I have, but take a look at it. You want to make some money in the market. I like volatile stocks. I like stocks that bring in a lot of premium, and I do well. So at this point, it's kind of my way of giving back, and then helping people that are kind of new in the world of options, and maybe giving you things from a different perspective, and maybe you can see a stock that you didn't think of trading, and see that it is something that's your cup of tea, and you'll start trading it. Uh, excuse me. All right, so let's go. Actually, I have a trade that hasn't triggered just yet, and I went into Red Cat this morning. Oh, at two. Actually, I did. 180, 183. It triggered that, but I have another one at $2. Red Cat is taking a little bit on the chin this morning. Um, they provide products and services and solutions to the drone industry, right? It engages in the provision of distributed data storage, analytics, and service to the drone industry. The firm product includes DroneBox, which is a blockchain technology that records, stores, and analyzes flight data and information from a drone. Now, this is where I found it interesting, is that they are actually in talk with Pete Hegseth, who's kind of like the head of the national defense, right? And because of all this hoopla going on with illegal immigration and whatnot, They don't want to just use boots on the ground. They want to use drones, right? So this is a company that they're seriously looking at, and they're going to ink a contract or two if they do, and they signed with Red Cat, right? They're going to make a ridiculous amount of money, so the stock is probably going to pop. It's taken a little on the chin today, I think, on a lawsuit and some contract doubts, so we're shadowing a strong market rally. Now, companies get sued all the time, and that's just a given. If you've traded for a while, you'll see that there's always lawsuits going on. Red Cat's a smaller company, so it's obviously going to make a little more noise. But to me, I see it as an opportunity, right? So I went in and I did a $10 cash secure put. The stock is at 10.64 right now, so it's got to come down, 64 cents from where it's at to be in the money. And I went to October, right? I went to October and I basically asked for $185. Um, and it triggered. I asked for $183. It triggered. Now I'm asking for $2 and I'm waiting for that to trigger. So my average is going to be like 190, right? I'm basically going to buy, the shares for 810. If it happens that on October, Red Cat is under $10, right? It's likely. And if so, then I'm actually getting Red Cat, which is a company I've been having my eye on for a few months now. I'll buy it at a more attractive price than where it's at now. Actually, I'm buying it for a 20% discount. And I'm starting to take a claim on that. And if, let's say, for example, Red Cat is at $9, 9.50, I'm already ahead. In which case I can then turn around, right? And after I turn around, I can sell, I don't know, cover calls for given that the IV is so high, right? I can sell some 12s. I can sell some 11s and then try to bring in, I don't know, a dollar, maybe $2 per call. You know, yeah, I think $2 a call, $3 a call would not be out of the question, right? And so that's how I generate my money. That's how I'm able to, make a little more cash than your typical investor, just because I'm always trading, I'm always writing, and that's one of the things that I think Uncle Bruce talks about is um, always be writing, right? So let's see here. If you guys, if you guys have any questions pertaining some stocks, definitely let me know and let's see. Let's look at it live. Let's see some trades. So what do we got here? We got Tom Kaufman. Hey, Savage got notification. What's up, Tom? Austin saying what's up. It's working. Stuart saying, yo, Savage, how you doing, Stuart? Mando, what's up, Mando? Dude is here. Mega Prime Supreme. This is great. Keep these up. I believe you can feel the void, Uncle Bruce. Well, I'm not really trying to feel, so like I've always had my channel, and I kind of started it kind of to help people with some issues. So if you go back at my videos, you'll see that I was doing some stuff with EDD and unemployment for people that were having a lot of trouble. And then I was getting comments where people were saying that they hadn't gotten EDD for 3 months or 4 months. This was during the pandemic, and some people were desperate. And after I made a couple of videos, they were able to get through. And then some people were saying I'm legit crying while I write this, and I just ended up getting $9,000, $8,000 on my account, $5,000. So during the pandemic, that was huge, right? And I just kept it going, and then I do have like my side hustle per se is credit cards. I love credit cards because they make things easier. So I'm always generating points, and I'm traveling for free, or I'm staying at hotels for free. And then I started, making some good money with trading, and I said, you know what, this would be a way to actually help people, that are trying to make an extra buck. And I just started making videos, and so I'm trading often now, every day, and I Savage of Wall Street is here. And now let's see, let's try to keep this going. If I can come on after Uncle Bruce, maybe a day or two a week, that'd be cool. And it gives. I like the community. I think I mentioned that in the past. Is I like the community that we have, and sometimes people just they're looking for something else to do, right? After he logs off, and he never trades real time. And I'm actually trading real time. I figured, hey, let's see what people's trades are looking like. Let's trade something or somewhere where we see opportunity. Right now, today, Red Cat is an opportunity. Um, so James of the Misty Tree saying, "What's up? What's up? How you doing, James?" Lisa, same here with Bull. Took my cash secure profit and deleted it from my watch list. You don't have to delete it. Keep your eye on it, right? Because you don't know how things are going to pan out. I will give it a couple of months and see. They can always be penalized by leaving a contract, right? I mean, they would be in a breach, but I'm sure there'll be a penalty. Also, this thing it may work. I made money, right? My average was like in the 11s, the 10s, and I sold covered calls. There was a dump today, so I was able to get out of the covered calls with money in my hand. I got out of my cash secure puts with money in my hand because it started recovering, and I sold my shares. I mean, we're in the stock market to make money, and I made money, right? Um, Another thing is do not get attached to stocks. Some people are always reluctant to ride on SoFi for that reason. They're like, "Oh my God, I've held SoFi for so long, I don't want to lose my shares." What are you losing? You're not losing really anything. I mean, it's not real. You can't put them in your pocket. You can't take them with you anywhere, right? So you're making money. If you for whatever reason sell a covered call, um, and the shares are called away, great. Now do cash secure puts, and then just keep the ball rolling. Don't marry yourself to any stock because that's kind of not the right approach to take. You're here to make money, and if you're making money, there's nothing wrong with that. So nobody's ever going to be wrong taking money off the table. Let's see here. B Tram saying good morning, good morning. JJ, what's up? JJ, good seeing you again, my friend. Larry is here. What's going on, Larry Titus? Yes, sir. Good to see you. Mando is here. Call on CS. Let's check it out. What calls are we talking about on CS, right? You got to give me a strike and a date, brother. Call Charles Schwab. Is that what you're trying to say? I don't know. You got to clarify that, Mando. Roaring is here. What's up, suckers? What's up, Roaring? Nice to see you, man. You're pretty lively. I like that. Hit the like button, indeed. Ken's mom. Hi, Ken's mom. Ken's mom is a regular, man. I really like her. That's awesome. Good seeing you. Let's see what you guys are working on. Don't be afraid to tell me of some position you have and some questions if you have any. That's all good. Let's see what people are working on, right? So that way other people can see, how we trade and an opportunity because some people may not have seen a specific trade that is, ripe for somebody to go in, and it gives people ideas. I think that's great. Um, Harder to keep track. I don't like rolling because of wash sales. Harder to keep track. I'll tell you this: if you roll and you take premiums, you can't go wrong, right? So even if you move up your strike and you take premium, that's the most beautiful thing. RXRX is a good example. I've been trading RXRX for a couple of years now, and it was $15 at a point. I rolled to 20s, and then I scaled back to 1250s and scaled back to 10s and so on and so forth. So but when I was rolling, I think the first ride I made was 1250 or 15, and then it ran away. And I wrote, I rolled for 20s. I think it was 20s, or it could have been 1250s or 10s, and I rolled to 15s. Either way, I went up on the strike, and I also bring in premium. So you make a $250, $500 move going up in the strike, and you're getting premium. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that, not at all. So it's all about making money, right? I just hate paying a penalty when I roll because I don't like that. There's other people that can make a case for why paying a premium to roll is actually or a debit, right? To roll is actually something that is positive, but I hate it. So I try not to do that. Harder to keep track. Yeah, I mean you could see it, you could write it down. So you look like at Wolf and Serve already. Yes, I actually have been looking at Serve, and and it's in my watch list, right? Serve Robotics. It's up today. I was looking at it last week when it was like, I think 10.50, right? 10 something. So I would like for it to come down there again, and then I'll probably do some cash secure puts out a couple of months. Um, but let's say for whatever reasons, you want to do some $12 cash secure puts on Serve today. It's giving you $2, right? It's you can ask for $2. That could be your bid or your ask. I mean, you could ask for $2. I don't see anything wrong with that. You're basically getting it at 10. But if it comes down to 10, it would be even better because you could do 10 strikes a couple of months out and bring in a couple of bucks. So you realistically are buying it for 8, right? So I think I like that better. However, if you're bullish on the company, I don't see why not. I don't see why not going into and selling some 12s for September or December. It's all about making money. And if you like a company, you like where it's at, you like where it's heading, why not? If I own the shares right now, I would sell some $14 covered calls. It's at $12. It has to go up to $2. So that's 15, 18% that it has to go up. And you're getting $1.20 for your troubles. What is wrong with that? You're essentially selling it at $15, right? And you're getting paid to do so. I don't see anything wrong with that trade at all. Now let's see Wolf. Let's see Wolf, baby. And can I just tell you how much um, I love the apps because it makes it so easy. I think this is the reason why people can feel comfortable traveling to different parts of the world and actually giving thought to moving out of the states, and just becoming nomads, right? Because this makes it infinitely easier. All you need is like a strong internet connection and the app, and you can make money. That's crazy to me, and I think that's awesome. So let's see, Wolf. Wolf is up a little today. I think the lowest was what today. Lowest of the day was 512. The highest of the day, 548. It's a 535. Um, 15 million trading thus far. Averages 56 million on volume every day. So it's got strong momentum trading. Bullish analysts are saying that there's renewed interest. Let's see. If I was to trade it, I first of all would not buy it where it's at because it seems it's a green day. Never sell cash secure puts on a green day, and never sell covered calls on a red day. That's like the number one rule, right? Other than don't invest money that you can't afford to lose. That's like a cardinal rule. Um, Sell cash secure puts on red days. I prefer days that the stock market drops 5%, or not even the stock market, but just the stock itself drops more than 5%. And I sell covered calls on days when the stocks move more than 5%. So that way I can go up a strike zone or two, bring in some premium, and I feel good about it getting called away. Conversely, if I do a cash secure put on a red day when the stock's lost 5%, and I try to buy it, 15, 10% less than that, and I'm getting paid for that, I love that. I'm getting a stock cheaper than where it's at on a red day, and I'm getting paid for that. And if it stays around that general area, then the option dies worthless, and I get my collateral back. What's wrong with that? I personally like to buy back before it dies worthless. I'll pay a couple of cents, so that I can then use that time as premium, and then go out, a couple of weeks or months, and then bring in more cash. That's just the way that I trade. Again, back to Wolf. Uh, I mean, let's see. If I was to go to, I like the third Fridays of the month as well to trade, and I like to go a couple of months out. So right now, I'm not really looking at August. I'm looking at September. So if I had Wolf, I would sell some $7 calls, and I try to bring in, I don't know, 45 cents, $45, right? For my troubles. The stock is at 535. We would have to move up, almost $2. It's a big move. And then I can always roll, right? But like if I get the stock called away, I don't see a problem with getting it called away at $7 and getting paid $45 for that. So you essentially are selling it for close to $750. Nothing wrong with that trade at all, my friend. Personally, I'd probably do a cash secure put though. I do a $5 cash secure put because it's at 533. It's got to come down, I don't know, 8%. Um, and I would do 70, 68, maybe $70 as I ask, 70 cents as I ask. I mean, because I like to stink it, right? So go one penny out, and then they're the market to put that to me, basically get easily over 10%, 15% for a cash secure put for September. There's nothing wrong with that. So if you don't get put those shares, you already made 15% back on your investment. No bank is going to give you 15% in a year, much less in a couple of months. And that's exactly why it's so awesome to do covered calls and cash secure puts, because if you do them monthly, right, or bi-monthly, you stack 10%, 15%, 15, 20% even sometimes or more. At the end of the year, that money has grown 60, 80%, right? That's insane. That's an insane return. And that's what I do. Um, the market usually goes up, on average 8 to 10% a year. You're crushing the market. There's people that get paid millions and millions of dollars that work at Charles Schwab, at Fidelity, at Solomon Smith Barney and such, all these trading companies, right? And these guys get paid millions and millions of dollars to bring in 10%, 12% to their clients. And their clients are happy because, their clients usually are well off. They are investing $100 million and they get $12 million back. They're like, oh my God, that's a lot of money. They're happy paying these guys, a fee of like 2%, 3% yearly, which is a lot of money, right? Um, and then you then compound that by the amount of clients that they have. That's exactly why they make so much money. But you're crushing them, and that's exactly why I like this game, because I know for a fact that I am outperforming the market for sure, and a lot of those suits. And make no mistake, they do exactly what we're doing on their own personal accounts. That's how they stay rich. Um, Roaring saying hit the like button. Oh yeah. Have you looked at Wolf? We just looked at Wolf and Serve. Khan is saying, "What's your thoughts on Lyft?" I like Lyft. It's a more attractive price point than Uber. Uber's already out, so it's I like Lyft. I like Lyft. It's at $15 a share, I think. So I do like it. I would definitely do some cash secure puts on it. But I already have Uber. I'm not trying to double up on it, but let's see, Lyft. Um, they're up today 3%. I would look at maybe on a red day when it scales back down. Again, going to September 19, um, some $15 cash, some $14 cash secure puts and getting paid for that. I think those cash secure puts you probably could get 10% for. So on a red day, if it went down 3-4% instead of up, um, I see you writing some $14 cash secure puts, bringing in $1.20, maybe $1.40. I don't see that that would be out of the question. I think that's a very attractive price point. You're essentially buying it for like $13. That's a good way to take a position on it. And if I was trading it, like if I had the shares, it's up, almost 5% today. I would look at selling, I don't know, $18 covered calls and trying to bring in 65 cents. That's $65. Not terrible at all. And getting the ball rolling on that. PSH, I'm not going to invest or trade in stocks like that. Palantir either. I don't want my money to support that BS. Yeah, so I don't want to get political, right? And if you have a moral compass that you don't want to overstep certain boundaries, I respect that. I think that we're in the game of making money, right? And if you can make money, why not? If you don't, somebody else will. But if you, for whatever reasons, have, a moral compass that you just can't see yourself investing in a company, don't do it. Like Philip Morris, I wouldn't invest in that. I have children, and I don't like what they do, and I agree. I mean, I'm with you on that. You don't have to invest in a company that doesn't have or share your values. I'm okay with that. No shade if anyone else does though. Are we holding open? Ken's mom. I am holding open. Actually, I just sold some $5 covered calls expiring in September for I think like $1 and change. So that's pretty wild. Getting paid, I think it was like 10 of them. So over $1,000 to get paid to sell a stock that I'm averaging 70 cents on. I've been talking about Open Door Technologies for months. If you guys look at my older videos, you'll see that it's there, man. It's there. It's no BS. I was telling people to do $1 cash secure puts on Open months ago, and at this point, you would have had those shares put to you. You would have a pretty big portfolio, probably. You could average down even because they hit 50 cents. And right now, you would be laughing all the way to the bank, right? The same thing happened with Fubo. I was holding Fubo. I think I bought it like $2 or $3 is when I started buying it, and it went down to $1. And I just went and I bought a massive amount, and then it ran to like 5, 6, $7 because they inked a deal with Disney. And then I sold $5 or $3 cash secure puts actually because I really was I'm trying to lose the shares, and it's I think they expired in January. And my average on Fubo was like $1 and change, and I'm more than doubling my money. And I think I brought in like $3 or $4 per call, which is insane. But that's just how high the IV was that day. And I think John Malone from the Discord, if you guys don't know John Malone, he's a great guy. He's also on the Uncle Bruce channel, but he traded it, or he's still trading it. I'm not sure. But I know he also made a pretty penny. And that's what you do, man. Like I say, just because we have a ridiculously red day and the overall market takes a downturn, you can't get scared and you can't sell, because that's what they want you to do. All these sharks out there, they want you to sell on red days because then they can come in and swoop your shares for cheap. What I do is I average down. That's the power of averaging down. Instead of having 800 shares, that are worth $5 and now are $3, stocks at two something, $3. Well, then you buy 500 shares, or do a cash secure put for 500 shares. Do 5 cash secure puts. Try to get, be aggressive and get those shares put to you. Once you get those shares put to you, say you did a $3 cash secure put call, and then you got $1 in premium. Well, your average is not going to be 3. It's actually going to be 2 because you got $1. They're going to take $1 into account, and it's going to make your average drop even lower. That's beautiful. And then when if the stock recovers, you're going to see the compound number just exponentially get larger as it goes up. And it's quite a thing. I'll tell you that right now. Let's see here. Lyft, I thought I talked about it. We holding open. Yes, I'm holding open, and I love it. Up 76% on the open. Yes, we are. SBET, short interest. What is SBET? Let's see. Sharplink Gaming. I don't know much about this company. I'll tell you that right now. And when it comes to gambling, man, it's terrible. It's terrible that legalized gambling is a thing. But I'm such a hypocrite because I actually like going to casinos, man. I love going to casinos. I actually have players cards from different casinos, and but the reason, let me tell you why, is because I go to casinos because they pay me to go, right? They always send me mailers and they say you'll have 3 or 4 days free on us if you come in on this month, and we'll give you $300 in money to go gamble, right? So they'll give me chips $300 worth of chips. So by the time I get to the casino, I'm already up, right? Now that's how they get you to gamble. But see, this is the thing. I like going on multiplier days, right? When they have an 8x or 10x multiplier days on your tiers and on comps. I like when there's both, because that way, whatever money I do gamble, I'm making 8x or 10x back on that. So by the time I leave, my food is comp because of the points I generated, and sometimes I even have cash that I am able to offset charges with. So my kids absolutely love going to these pools. Those casinos, those are usually some awesome pools. They have a lot to do when it comes to children. Some casinos do, and we have a fun time, right? So if you take into account the fact that you're actually taking a mini vacation, any vacation you take outside the home with your children, you're going to spend money on, right? So if you do the numbers, and then you say, I'm a family of six, right? So we go for 3 or 4 days to, let's say, I don't know, I'm always going to Tahoe or Reno, and let's say I spend $1,000, right? That's combined with the gas and all that, and let's say I lose that $1,000, right? Okay, I lost, but then after all the credits are offset, you take into account it costs $200-300 a night to stay at these places. I come out even, right? And then you have the memories. I had a great time with the family. We had room and board. The kids had a great time. There's memories that were created, and I got to get out of the house. That's a win. And sometimes I actually trade from the casinos, which is pretty awesome. I may do it next Monday. So I think that's going to be kind of cool. So maybe I'll see you guys from the casino. Um, but I don't know much about SharpLink, man. It looks like it's actually taking a hit now. It was up 16% this morning, and now it's down. But no, it's still up 3%. I would have sold. Whenever it goes up, remember I told you guys, I like to sell covered calls when a stock goes up more than 5%. 16%, I obviously would have watched the trend. And as soon as it hit $33, 33 and change, I would have sold some covered calls, some 35s out to September, and I would have made some money, because right now I'll probably buy them back for, 20%, 30% less. And boom, that's how you generate income. And then right now, even I would probably sell some Januaries. I would sell some 30s because it's down, right? So, and then bring in more money. And that's how you make cash. And you're able to generate some income. And that's the key, right? So, yeah, I don't know much about SBET, but that's my take on it. That's what I would do if I was, trading it, right? I wouldn't advise selling cash secure puts on it right now because it's green. Mega Prime is saying you can do it. Do a great job. I watched all of your previous streams. You have experience on live in trading knowledge, and I have learned from you. Well, that's cool to know, Mega. That's what's up. Prime. I'll just call you Prime. Davis Chow. What are your strategies in place for open? Just got this morning some $3 calls for September and up 10%. This hype is crazy. My man, you're up 100%. I don't know what you're waiting for, but I would pull the plug right now. You're up 100%. See, bulls make money in the stock market. Bears make money in the stock market. Pigs get slaughtered, and that's what happens. Last week on Friday, I think SoFi went to $23 or close to it. I told people sell some $25 covered calls. So out to January, even if you September, and I think you could have brought in $2-3 per contract, right? That's $300. If you would have sold 10 of them, that's $3,000. Let's see what those are right now. Those SoFi contracts right now, SoFi is red. So let's see. If you would have listened to me, well, again, don't listen to me. Do your own due diligence, right? But if you would have, for entertainment purposes only, those $25 calls are $1.15 right now. $1.15. So $2 or $3. So you'll be up over 50% on those. You could have bought them back today, and you could have waited for SoFi to recover 5% in a day, which earnings is next week. It will recover. People always do this during earnings. For some reason, SoFi always takes it in the chin, and then Anthony Noto comes out and gives you some great numbers and says we're doing awesome. Year over year, we're creating more revenue. We have more products, more people. It just keeps going up, and then it skyrockets 20%, right? So it's like that's what it does. So I would have taken advantage of that for sure. Um, so my strategy on open would be pretty much what I did this morning. I saw the opportunity to take in $1, I think 20, by selling some open covered calls, some $5 covered calls, um, expiring in September, and I was able to bring in well over 20%, and that's what you do. And if I get those, say for whatever reasons, open is $5 or more on in September. My average in open is 70 cents, right? In the 70s, I don't want to say 70 cents like flat, but in the 70s. Um, if I got called away at $5, I've already almost 10x my money. I like 8x my money. What is wrong with that? And then you got to take into account the premium that I got. So I'm realistically selling for 620 or something like that, right? That's beautiful. I mean, I more than 300, 400%, 500% my investment. No, more than that. Shit, like almost 900% my investment. If you're up 100% though, I mean, what is wrong with that? Most people make on average back 8%, 10% a year. You're at 100%. If you were to close this trade for the year, you already outperformed the market. There's nothing wrong with taking money off the table ever. Nobody ever kicked themselves on the ass over that. I'll tell you that. Mando saying cold credit spreads. No cold credit spreads, buddy. I'm going to think of people's portfolios that are watching me as if it was mine. And I'm going to be very conservative with it. Not to say you're not going to make, potentially you could make more than 50% in a year by being conservative, or more. But I just don't want people to take unnecessary risk. And I think call credit spreads, they're not really. You always have to be watching them, right? And there's multiple legs. It's hard enough to keep track of like the one leg when you're doing cash secure puts or covered calls, especially if you're doing multiple stocks. That's just asking for trouble, because you have to watch the screen 24/7 because things happen quickly, right? And it's unnecessary stress, and I personally don't have the time, um, which is why I do covered calls and cash secure puts out a couple of months, because I don't have to babysit. However, I'm always watching the market because there's always opportunity, and if I see that a stock pops really hard on a specific day or drops a lot, that's my cue to then take opportunity. All right. Call credit spreads when you want to trade them down here. I don't know what the stock is. Double D, I'm here. I can't comment very often. RXRX. What's up, Double D? I like RXRX, man. For sure. Hector saying good morning. James, gotta go run some errands, but I'm gonna leave your live running here. I'll rewind and watch it later. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Have a good day. Roaring saying I like Sir because they are a spin-off of Uber Eats. They have robots and deliver food. They look like coolers with wheels, but I saw that. I like it. I'm not saying. Look, I take a position. It's just green today, right? So I just, like I said, I'm waiting for it to go back to 10. Um, and so it's 11.85. I think it needs to come down a bit, and because it just moved up pretty quick. If it comes back to like under 11, I'm gonna watch it and I'm gonna do some cash secure puts on it. I have been eyeing it since it was 6, but there's just so much going on, right? That you can never have all the stocks, and you have to make a decision and be like, you only have so much capital, right? And you also don't want to fucking spend all of it, because then that leaves you with, like, a dry wallet. And I don't like going on margin. That's another thing about me. You guys will know is I hate going on margin. I don't recommend it. You could get in trouble very, very easily. So do cash accounts, and work your asses off. Take whatever extra shifts you can at work so that you can dump the money into the stock market. Um, the first $100,000 is the hardest. That's all I'm gonna say. The first $100,000 is the hardest. It's gonna look like a fucking battle at first. It's just an uphill battle. But the first $100,000 is the hardest. Once you're able to make it to $100,000, your portfolio, you will see how it just grows quicker after that. I don't know if it's a mental thing or if it's a numbers game. I mean, obviously it's a numbers game too, but I think it makes people, it alleviates people, and they can actually, it's like a mental note, right? It's a number that you can see. It's six figures. You're like, it made sense. There is a means to the madness. That's a goal, right? And not many Americans have $100,000 lying around. And that, I mean, just in your stock, you would have $100,000. That's collateral. That's your net worth. So banks look at you differently when you have a portfolio that has a high net worth. You can get better interest rates when you take out loans for homes, for cars, or whatever. They take that into account, and you can actually, they offer you like a percentage, right? They say, would you, we have these loans for 6%, and you can say, no, not really. I have 10,000 shares of Nvidia. I think I'm good. I'd like to pay 3%. And then they'll say, oh, well, we don't really want to do that. And you say, well, let me talk to the manager, the bank manager. You become a Karen. That's when it's okay to become a Karen. And then you talk to the manager and say, look at this portfolio. I mean, I have the liquidity, I have the portfolio. I just want to take out a loan for a nice car, and I don't want to pay for it outright. Work with me. And you'll see that doors open up a lot quicker when you have a higher net worth. It's just the way it is. And I think a portfolio with $100,000 definitely helps you get there quicker. But it's the hardest one to get to, especially when you start off, right? But you guys will see, man. If you guys stick around, you guys are going to see. And I hope you guys do. Even if you're not watching me, right? Stick it out. And then, if you stick it through during the bear markets, you'll see that millionaires are made during bull markets and bull runs, but billionaires are made in red markets for a reason. That's because there's so much opportunity, and people have to take, more of a cavalier approach, and be smarter with their money. So that's kind of where that comes from. Wolf is a Bitcoin miner that energy efficiency focused, and it looks like on the daily change, in my opinion. Yeah, I agree. I saw that. But I mean, I don't want to take the punches yet. I want to read more on it. I have been looking at it, and like I said, there's just so many stocks, right? CKT is saying covered calls on open for 815, 5 at 46 for 113. Oh, $5 times 46 for 113. I'll take that. Good for you. Good for you. That is beautiful, man. That is absolutely beautiful, CKT. I think that's the trade of the day right there, man. That is awesome. Take that money, brother. Take it. They're giving it to you. They're handing it to you in a silver platter. Please, please take my money so that I can buy your shares at a way more expensive price point than they are now. Please take my money. It's like, you're such a kind guy, right? I love it. That's beautiful, man. Lisa saying serve looks interesting. January 2026, $12 cash you can put going for 3. That's 25%. I mean, you know what? I'm not mad at that, because I'm waiting for it to come down to 10, under 11. But you're literally buying it at 9. I don't see anything wrong with that. If serve it's a company, Lisa, that you're looking at, and you're thinking of it long term, right? As an investor would, you like what it's about, you've done your due diligence, and you want to take the plunge. This is obviously not financial advice, but I would do that if I was looking at it. I would do that if that's exactly where I wanted to put my money in, and I was comfortable with that. I would do that. Absolutely. There's nothing wrong with getting 25% back on your investment. Worst case scenario, you get the shares at 9, and then you could turn around and sell some covered calls and then start recouping money. You could wait for a green day, which obviously would serve. It looks like it can move up pretty quickly. Nothing wrong with that at all. Rory is saying I have $6 or 6 cash secure put leaps of Wolf at 4.5 at 169 premium. I'm not mad at that. You're buying it under $3. That's beautiful. I like that. Nothing wrong with that at all, man. That's over 33%. Beautiful. Jeff is saying, Jeff Glass, rolled my GME 8.1 and 8.22.23 cash secure puts up to 9.19.24s. They were up 50% and 70% respectively, and I grabbed a bunch more of cash. Okay, this is the deal with cash secure puts. When I roll them, I don't roll them for more money. It's just me. I either let them expire worthless, or I roll them for the same amount. At this point, you're going from 23 cash secure puts to 24s. So you gave $100 more back, right? And I don't know what premium you got, but that's not what I do. I like to take money. I don't like to give money. And I think I was just talking about it earlier, where that's the reason why I don't do debits when I roll, is because I like to take money, man. I like to take money out of the market from gamblers. I don't like to give it back. If you want the shares for sure, and you want those 24s, I mean, why don't you just buy it where it's at? You know what I mean? It's like at $23, right? So I don't see the logic. I mean, okay, I do see it because you're getting premium, right? And you already 50% up on your previous, right? So I guess that your cost basis will go down. But I mean, why didn't you just go to like October with those 23s and bring in more premium instead of giving $100 out? I mean, look, everybody trades differently. If this makes sense to you, I think it's great. At the end of the day, if you want the shares, you want more premium, that's cool. But I would have gone about it a different way. That's all. It's just my 2 cents. And we trade differently, and it's totally okay. There's more than one way to skin a cat. And at the end of the day, if you have a naked cat, that's what matters, right? So, Jude K saying hi to all in the chat. Thank you for your time. Appreciate you, Khan. Welcome. Charlie C2. Hi, Savage. Hi, everyone. What's up, Charlie? How you doing? Everybody thumbs up, says Walter Young. Khan is saying, when you sell covered calls, how far out in the time do you go? Okay. I like to take dollars. I don't like to take pennies. Not to say that there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying, if I go out with covered calls, I like to take more than $1 in premium. It depends on the stock, right? Like $1 in NVIDIA is not the same as like $1 with like RXRX. But let's see. Just as an example, Webull. Look at Webull's coming down already. I told you guys. It's down 7%. It was up at like 1650 and change. Let's see. The high of the day was 1660. It's 1570, and it's coming down. Oh, buddy. That's what happens. I'm telling my wife that I hope she sold her Webull. my wife trades as well, and we're quite the 1-2 punch. You know what's funny is my wife. I think a few years back, when it clicked for her, she needed $5,000 for, I think, I think she wanted to go shopping for the kids. We were gonna go on a trip to Hawaii, and she wanted to go shopping for, like, shorts. Kids get, I mean, they outgrow their clothes so quickly, right? But they needed like some vests. She wanted to buy some bathing suits. I mean, the whole thing, right? She likes to shop, and I told her, she's like, which credit card should I use? And I was like, hold on, you want to spend money? How much are you really spend? You're going to spend? She's like, I don't know, a couple of $1,000. I'm like, what is a couple of $1,000? She's like, maybe five. I was like, oh, I was like, can I look at your portfolio? And she was just like, she hands me her phone, and I just made some moves. I sold some covered calls, did some cash secure puts, and I think I made her like $8,000 or something like that. And I told her, have eight, and she just laughed and she's like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "I just made you $8,000." She's like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, just $8,000. I do covered calls, I do cash secure puts." And she started looking at it. She's like, "Oh my god!" And then after she spent the money, when everything settled, we moved the cash to her account. And like when she saw that money just transferred, and she was just like, "What?" Um, so anyway, so she does her own thing now, and I think that's awesome. Um, Premium on the option is here. What up, buddy? Yeah, here we go. Here we go. Premium's in the house. Yes, sir. What are you working on, Premium? I just got out of Weeble, man. Um, I did some cash and cure puts this morning on Red Cat. Um, I did some. I sold some contracts on RXRX, and oh, you know what? Serve Robotics, Serve. My order to sell to open one contract of Serve at $11 for 919. An $11 put wasn't filled today. That was Friday. So I was actually trying to go into Serve on Friday. Isn't that funny? And it's up. I should have moved my stinker down. What are you gonna do? Let's see here. Rivian. I like Rivian, guys. I like Rivian. GME's at 23 change. I have some cash secure puts on GME. I have some 30s expiring in January that I got over $10 for. Those are 865. I'm just gonna let them depreciate. I don't care. Um, I'm waiting for it to pop to 25, 26 so I can sell some covered calls because I have no covered calls on GME just yet. Oh, look, Sentinel One is popping. Beautiful. I've been talking about Sentinel One. I think it was 16 bucks when I started talking about it. I hope some people listen and did some cash secure puts or bought some shares. Would have been a beautiful thing. Rory is saying, when do you roll close to close out each leg out individually, or the leg broker roll, or on your behalf? Seems like worse feels letting the broker roll on the market. Well, so you put a bid on, right, Rory? For example, I have these just as an example. Um, we were just talking about GME, right? And I have some cash secure puts on GME. Um, and I just said, the $10 GME call or cash secure put that I have that expires in January, um, it's 865. Let's say that the stock ripped to $30. These would go down to like $5. I would probably put a stink of four, because it moves so violently, right? And then when people are trying to get out, they get out. Or when they're trying to buy puts, they try to buy puts, and then it moves quickly. I would put a $4 ask if it was at $5 on the day that it rips. Conversely, a covered call, let's say like Webull is tanking right now. Let's say I had a $15 covered call that I sold for like $2, $3, and the stock is tanking, and let's say that is now like 50%, right? And let's say that it's at $1.50. I would put a 140 there or a 135, and I just let the market take me out, not the broker. I wouldn't go at market price, because they always, I mean, that's how they make their money, right? Um, but I would go and I stink bid it. This This is why we talk about stink bids, and this is why we talk about stink asks, right? And they're the market to take you out. I mean, look at Serve, right? I did a stink bid on Serve for the $11 strike for the cash your put, and it just didn't happen. And I'm not going to chase it. You know, that's how you get in trouble, is when you start chasing a stock and chasing a specific trade, unless you really are trying to get out of it. And for whatever personal reasons, you're like, I just really need to get the fuck out right now. I mean, even then, I would recommend you going like at the mid price point between the ask and the bid. You know, let's see here. So that's why the bids are there, guys. Hector is saying, last week I sold $25 covered calls on SoFi, January 2025, collected $277. It has been a long time since I've had calls against those shares. Those are looking nice today. I can guarantee you that, Hector. Charlie saying, definitely close your own contracts on limit orders. Roaring, never let the broker close for you. You'll always leave cash on the table if they close for you. I agree. Charlie's got a good point, and I think I just said that. That's exactly what I was talking about. Lisa's saying, Savage, I recognize your channel header photo. Victoria Harbor, Hong Kong, right? No. Nope, it is not. It is not Victoria Harbor, Hong Kong. Although I would like to go to Hong Kong. I've been to Asia. I've been to Thailand, been to Vietnam. Sorry, not Thailand. I've been to Vietnam, been to Japan. And I loved it. You know, next on the list is going to be Singapore, and Hong Kong would be great. You know, but I definitely we're looking at Hong Kong, and we are looking at Thailand. And let's see here, probably I think Malaysia would be cool. You know, I don't know. For some reason, China doesn't catch my attention. And it's not anything political. It's just I don't know. It just doesn't catch my attention, man. I think Hong Kong and Singapore would be at the top. Definitely Thailand. I'd love to go back to Vietnam. I'll tell you that the food there was amazing. Um, I have some friends that they are from Laos, and they're amazing people. I would love to go to Laos. You know, Laotian people are some of the coolest people. JJ saying the reenactment of my story about my shopping with my wife would make a great TikTok, Instagram. I honestly think my whole life with my wife would be a great story in itself. Um, we're quite the characters, man. My kids, oh my God, my kids are something else. I'll tell you that. Um, it's always it's always uh it's always a thing here in the house. I'll tell you that. Lisa saying, "Oh yeah, what's up, Savage H?" is saying, What's up, buddy?" Jeff is saying the only good thing about letting broker roll is a tax account. You can avoid taxes until you close. Yeah, I guess. Juan Velasquez saying, "Good morning, everyone. What's up, Juan? How you doing?" Charlie, so far going down. My stink bid to buy back my $19 August 15 puts getting further away from hitting. I'm just gonna leave that for the day. Hopefully, you'll bounce back to 22 today. I don't think so, man. Charlie is saying, "Hey Juan, Charlie, Beach Boy, what's up, Beachy? How you doing, my friend? Yeah, shalom, my friend Beach Boy. He's in Israel, man. And then they're watching me in Israel right now. I think that's awesome. Where are you guys from? I'm very curious to see where you guys are from, because I know I see you guys on the Uncle Bruce channel in the Discord, but I really don't know where people are from, and it would be cool to see." Juan Velasquez says, "Shoot, I just wrote the $19 August 15th as well." Oh, Jesus, bro. Laotians got one of the best ramen. I agree, Juan. I agree. I do love Malaysian foods myself, Juan. I'll tell you that, man. Fuck. Uncle Bruce is going to Tokyo, and I actually was in Tokyo when it was just three of us. My wife, myself, and my daughter. and my daughter was, I think, 4. So she was, she's 10 now. This was like 6, 7 years ago. We went, and we had a blast, man. We went to Tokyo and we stayed there for a few weeks. And I'll tell you, man, some of the best food I ever had. We went to the Tsukiji market, and coincidentally, we stayed in the Yoyogi area and near a park. And this park had pony rides for the kids that go to the park for free. And that blew my mind, man, because your kid would have to get in line. They give them these little tokens. They put little tokens in this little bottle, and then they take a ride in the ponies all around this one stable for free. And then they can feed the ponies. And I thought that was just such a cool thing. We went to the Meiji Temple. We went to Shikiji. We went to the Ginza district. Um, they didn't let us into the restaurant, the Bulgari restaurant. I wanted to go in and eat sushi at the Bulgari restaurant, but we weren't dressed adequately. And I guess I didn't know the Ginza district was like such insane uh, area, but it's supposedly like where the billionaires live, right? So, but man, it was a nice area. I think my wife bought some oils there that up to this day, we still have them. We just turn the little stick around and then they create this little scent in the environment. It's crazy. They've lasted this long. But man, I think it was Okoya. That's what they were called. And man, it was such a cool experience. We went to the Kabukicho area, and then we went to the robot restaurant. Um, was it called the robot restaurant? I think it was called the robot restaurant, and it was just fuck. It was the craziest thing ever. It was like this dinner with a show, and like there's just like all these characters, these explosions. Then like it's like you're inside a video game. I'm a gamer and I play like role playing games, and like there's like this battle going on, and like the characters just get bigger and bigger and bigger. Next thing you know, this guy comes out in a fucking dinosaur. It's got lasers, and it's just it's fucking insane. I honestly thought my daughter was gonna go into convulsions because of there was just so much going on, and it's just, I don't know, man. But it was such a cool experience, man. We went to the that whole area in Tokyo, man. It was just we did so much, and I feel we didn't do enough. It was so much to do. And some of the best noodles I've had in my life were right down the street. And I forget the name of this restaurant. And it blew my mind how you didn't have to pay for anything. Like there was no register. You go to this vending machine, right? And then you put the money in, and then you click the picture of the food that you want, and then out comes this little ticket, and then your change. Then you sit down, and then someone will come into your table, and they'll take the ticket away, and the next thing you know, the food comes in. It's such a cool thing, man. And they made their own noodles in house, and I think they were udon noodles. I've never had soups that were so amazing. I mean, I had some Bumbleway in Vietnam. I think that's the closest thing. It was, I mean, very different flavors, very different ingredients, um, but it was just an insane explosion of flavors. It was crazy, man. Stuart saying, smash the like button for the Savage. I'd appreciate that, guys. I really would. And definitely subscribe. And hey, if you guys don't mind, just for shits and giggles and to like get traction with the algo, if you guys, are going to leave the house or you guys are like somewhere where you guys are doing something else, if you guys could play my videos in the background and just play all so that the algo can pick me up, it would be kind of cool. I'm trying to get to 10,000 subscribers. I think I'm at like close to 2,000 right now. But if I could get to 10,000, that's an awesome number. And it'd be great to get the super chat going, because I'm going to be telling you guys about different, I give you different ideas, right? Educational purposes only, right? And if you guys do a great trade and you make $1,000, $2,000, don't be shy and you can donate $10, $20. I'm trying to fill this wall with stuff, right? And oh, just so you know, for the newbies, whenever you see this, this is gonna be kind of how I feel about the market. I have a bull one. So whenever you guys see the bull on the other side, that's your cue to know what type of day I think it's gonna be. Not saying it is, but it's just how I feel about the market on that day, right? And I think it'll be cool. Probably put some down here, some pictures or some lights. I don't know, guys. I just I'm starting to come back into the channel. I work sometimes 100 hours a week, and right now, I'm taking a little break. But I'm not doing this for money. I'm not getting paid to. All my videos, I have almost 500 videos, and I'm not monetized. You guys are seeing no commercials, right? So I'm not trying to do that. But again, if you make a couple of $1,000 with a trade we talked about, and you want to feel like, hey man, I'll give the channel $20 so we could get something going. I'm also thinking about traveling to different places, right, and trading. And if it so happens that the stock market is open, and I'll log on, and you guys, will get the alert, and then you guys can see from different places where I'm trading at. I think that'd be cool, and it also gives you, it encourages you to get out of your comfort zone and to travel. I mean, some of the coolest fucking trades I've done have been when I'm sitting like in a Waikiki beach drinking a Mai Tai. And I always talk about this because it happened, and it was such a shock. And I think that's the moment that it really clicked. And I was like, holy shit, I can do this forever from anywhere. My it was like the Christmas time, I think 5, 6 years ago, and we were in Waikiki with my wife and my kids. Um, could have been like 5 years ago because my son was already born. And we were in Waikiki at the beach. I'm drinking a Mai Tai. My kids are playing. They're splashing my wife in the face with water. They're having a laugh, and they're just having a ball. And I'm over here sitting down, laughing, trading. I was trading, and I think I made some trades, and I made like $3,000. And I'm like, I just made $3,000 sitting down at a beach in Waikiki, watching my kids play and laugh with my wife, having a great time while on vacation. I'm already paying for my vacation. Not that I spent a lot of money because, as you guys know, I have a lot of points with hotels and with airlines. But the money that I do spend, it just didn't come out of my own pocket. I was like mind blown, man. And then that's when it clicked, and I was like, holy shit, this is the real thing. This is the real deal. And I think I told my wife, you know what? I just made $3,000. She said, what? I thought I just made $3,000 in 5 minutes. In 5 minutes. Because I just logged on, and I think there was a really, really green day. I think the market popped like 10% as a whole that day, or like 5%, something ridiculous. And I sold covered calls, I think, on Unity. I think on oh my god, who on GME. I sold some on GME, and I was just like, this is it. This is what I want to do. And I think you guys could probably, you'll come up to your own moment of like, eureka moment, right? Where you're gonna be somewhere sitting down, having, a laugh, or by yourself or with a significant other, having a beer, doing something that it's mundane, right? And like, you'll be like, I just got paid to like sit down and watch a movie, or like I just got paid to sit down and have lunch or breakfast, or like you're out in Paris somewhere traveling, or it doesn't even have to be somewhere international. It could be like in New York City. You're from Florida, you're in New York City, or you're in New York City, you're in Florida. You guys decide to go to Vegas, San Francisco, Texas, you go to Dallas, whatever, and you're just visiting somewhere, having a great time, and you trade, and you get paid for trading, and then you now can pay for some of that trip with the money that you just generated out of thin air. I think that's wild. So yeah, that's my story. Khan is saying he was born in Laos. No shit. That's what's up, Khan. You know what? One of my best friends is from Laos, man. She's the coolest person I know, or one of the coolest persons I know. Let's see here. JJ's from Jersey. Good to know Khan's from Laos. Stuart, you're from UK. Oh, that's right. You're from UK. You wrote me. Good to see you around, buddy. For real. Um, I appreciate you guys watching from all over the world, I guess, man. That's kind of cool. Today in Manitoba, Canada. Hector's in Canada. That's what's up, baby. I'm from the North Coast, the armpit of America, Kansas City. I'm from the North Coast. Kansas City. Roaring, Kansas City has some fine barbecue. I'll tell you that. I actually I went to school back east in New York, and one of my buddies was from Arkansas, one of my schoolmates, and we actually did a road trip to go to the Bayou Classic and check it out. And we drove through, and then we went down to like we went down Ohio. We went to Mississippi. We went down Kansas City. I mean, we just traveled, and fuck, some of the I think it was probably one of the top three barbecues I've ever had. Kansas City, Missouri, for sure. It was delicious. That's all I gotta say. Um, Larry's from Washington D.C. I knew that. I knew that. Let's see, San Antonio, Texas. That's where Premium is for. That's what's up. That's some other fine barbecue. I'll say that right now. Javier's in the house. What's up, brother? Beach Boy saying Open did a nice move today. You think that's it? Are they done? They are not done. I don't think they're done. I think it's gonna breathe a little bit, but it's just until you see it in the news, I think it's gonna keep popping. Um, I've already got my money back, my initial investment. At this time, I just sold some covered calls for $5, right? $5 covered calls, and I brought in like over $1. I'm good. I'm sitting pretty. I think I have a couple of thousand shares that are just hanging there in case it pops to $20, $30 a share. That's when I'm selling. Not saying you can go to more than that, but pigs get slaughtered, and that's just the bottom line. That's the way I trade. Could it go to $100 a share? Maybe. People are talking about Open Door being the next Carvana. That's good talk. I like that type of talk. Maybe I'll leave 100. If I sell at 30, maybe I'll leave 100 just for shits and giggles, just to see what happens. Why not? Um, Double D's from Texas. Hesh from the UK. Oh, Hesh, what's up? Lisa, check out Cambodia too. I spent birthday Angkor. You know what? I have some Cambodian friends, man. My crazy cabs in high school. Those fucking guys were nuts. And in Cambodia, you know what? I would go to Cambodia. I would go to Cambodia for sure. For sure. Um, I spent a birthday at Angkor. What? The ancient temple complex. Angkor what? All right. I mean, I'd love to check it out for sure, man. Roaring is saying, hopefully you got Gates barbecue. It's a whole experience when you order. No, it wasn't that. It was like some small place in the road, kind of like in the sticks. But I shit you not, that was just insane. It was like crack, and it was just so good. It's a small mom and pop place, and it was just it was really great. It was really really good, man. That's all I gotta say. Mr. Lucky Corral Savage, what's up, Lucky? Number 37, Senor. Good to see you here. Saying hi from Hawaii. That's right, you're from Hawaii. Good to see you, brother. I love Hawaii, man. I honestly do love Hawaii. I'll tell you that. If I was to move, um, Open is not going to do a split. They were talking about doing a split, but Open Door is not going to do a split now. If it goes to $10 a share, $8 a share, it is not doing any splits, man. Let me tell you that right now. It would be silly. They don't need it. It's got live, baby. It's alive. So just like us, we're live right now, right? Oh, look at Rivian. Rivian is down, baby. Let's see here. Oh, nice. Rivian is 1366. I like my Rivian. I like what they're doing. You guys know I want to buy a Rivian. I think in the next 2 or 3 years, I'm going to buy a Rivian. I'm just gonna, we have a Forerunner right now, so we really like it. And I think until our daughter is closer to driving age, we're gonna keep it. But I really want a Rivian, man. It's a beautiful car, beautiful car. So Rivian hit 14 today, huh? Let's see. If I was to do Rivian, get into Rivian, I'd probably sell a put, and I would do a $13 put. I try to get it's 120 for it. Why not? You're basically buying it at 1180, and you're taking a position on a good company. I like Rivian. Interest of full disclosure, every company that I'm talking about, I trade. So just so you guys know, there may be a little bias, but I've done a ridiculous amount of research on them, and I like the stock. That's so I got to say about that. Uh, a split would be to keep it on the listing status. I understand. I understand, but I mean, it's not getting delisted. There's no way not getting delisted already. Yeah, it's already past $1. Exactly. It's not gonna get delisted. It's making too much money now. Especially now the Wall Street bets is on it. For sure, it's not gonna get. It's not happening. Uh, it's okay. I made a 1K on it. Yeah, I made a few K on my. I made a few pennies on it myself, brother. Um, Mr. Lucky saying very nice. Roaring is saying day trading restraints to be loosened under proposed rule change. Bloomberg. Um, that's more money for us. I think when India opens up completely their markets and they are able to trade here, that's a billion people that are coming into the stock market, and they all do options. Maybe okay. Let me rephrase that. People in India have an affinity, and they have an appetite for options, and there's a lot. And I think we're in the golden age right now, man. So if you're learning to do covered calls and cash secure puts, right now, golden age, because you're getting ahead of the game. You're a few years easily, and you're gonna have so much more experience in 2 3 years. I mean, it's insane how much more experience you'll have, and you'll be making a ridiculous amount of money. Um, I was just talking about Hawaii with Mr. Lucky, and I'm just saying, dude, it's one of the places that I would consider moving to. I have family there already. They're in Oahu, and so I would totally, totally move to Hawaii. I love everything about the culture. Very strong family connections. I fucking love the food, and I love Asian food, and so all types of Asian food in Hawaii, as well as the local cuisine, right? I fucking love pineapples. I love fruit in general. And I just like the locals, man. The locals are pretty cool. You know, I'm one of the few people that gets away going to the area where only locals go. You know, because my brother-in-law lives there, and he's pretty close with them. So we go, and it's kind of cool. I love seeing the sights, man. The sunsets, the sunrises. Man, I actually another thing. A couple of years back, I go to Hawaii often. Um, I was in Waikiki having Starbucks coffee, watching the sunrise and trading. I mean, that's just right. Watching a beautiful sunrise, one of the most beautiful sunrises in the world, and I'm drinking coffee. Um, just intaking the sounds. Nobody out because I think it was there's like a 5 hour difference between New York City and Hawaii, or 6 hours, and the stock market had opened in New York City, and it was like 5 a.m. in Hawaii, so it's like a 4.5 hour difference, right? Um, but it was crazy because I'm watching the sunrise, and I'm drinking coffee, and I'm trading, and it's just it's unbelievable, right? Just getting paid to watch this sunset, literally getting paid to watch this sunrise. I mean, um, and then after I was done making money in the first half an hour of the market, first hour of the market, then I bought, some 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 coffee and some drinks for my kids and my wife. I got some madeleines and some muffins, some cookies, and then I brought them up to the hotel where we were staying, and we had breakfast, and then we went on about our day. I had already made, a few $1,000, and we went about our day. I mean, that's crazy. That's just crazy. It can be done. It can be done. And I know Uncle Bruce is always saying, you can do this and that, and it's just not bullshit. It's not bullshit because it can be done. I do it all the time. Sometimes I'm gambling. I'm literally gambling and I'm trading, and then I'm like losing money here, but somebody else is paying that money, so it's like they're financing my gambling addiction, right? So that's terrible. But I mean, that's, when you lose money, you lose money. But it's just cool to know that somebody else is paying for it. Not to say that I could not use that money elsewhere, but whenever you pay for like a mortgage, for a month because of cover calls or cash your puts, it's a beautiful thing. I paid for some appliances a couple of years back, a year back, um, and I made it real. I took money out of my account and then diverted it to, like, my bank account, and I used that money to pay for some appliances which I bought with a new credit card. So I hit a minimum spend, and I got like 100,000, 150,000 points, from Hilton to buy an appliance that I needed, and I pay that credit card off with cash secure put or cover call money. It's just freaking wild. And then I use those points to stay at the Wall of Astoria. Boom. I mean, there's so many ways to do this, guys. And another thing is, for those of you guys who have credit card debt, pay your credit card debt down with cash secure put money and cover call money, man. It's a beautiful thing. It definitely alleviates a lot of financial stress. All right, let's see here. What else do we got? GOP is referring Jerome Powell for criminal charges. There's other idiots. That's gonna tank the market, man. I just don't understand. Let the guy just go away on his own. I mean, wasn't Trump the one who nominated him in the first place and got him confirmed? It's so silly at this point. Um, he's just not doing what Trump wants, which is to fucking drop 300 basis points at once. That's insane. That would crucify the markets. I don't think this guy knows what he's talking about. Jerome Powell is a safeguard between us having a crash or not. Um, then again, stranger things have happened. I don't know. This market is being held by a vice at this point. So, you know what? We're just gonna keep on selling our covered calls and cash secure puts. Why don't we do that and then let whatever happens happen? If anything, you guys are gonna have money in your portfolio, and it is what it is, right? But don't let that paralyze you from making money. Keep making your money. Things will happen, they'll happen. And if the market tanks, then that's the opportunity for you to buy stock on the cheap and do cash secure puts. And if we keep running away the way we are, keep selling covered calls. That's just the best advice I can give you. Yeah, I agree. That's probably where the market is falling right now. Let's see, what do we got? Let's see this news. Let's see. Let's go to Yahoo Finance. Bam, bam, bam. Bam, bam, bam. Here we go. I guess I could go to the Wall Street Journal too. I have an account. Oh Jesus! If they want war, they will get war. The EU is saying the European Union is readying their tariff counterattack. This is not good, man. It's just not good. Why? Subway to appoint former Burger King CEO as executive. King executive CEO. That's not going to work. Gold is rising as traders assess tariff impact. Yeah, gold rising is your cue, man. Open door stock rockets higher in latest Mimi Mania. See, I'm telling you guys. Trump media stock jumps after acquiring 2 billion of Bitcoin. Oh God, stay away from Trump. Anything, please. Not saying that, just saying. All right, I don't want to put my money there. It's just not. Remember, we're trying to adverse risk here, right? That's what we're trying to do. All right, let's see here. Let's see here. Yeah, I mean, here it is. Fed Chair Jerome Powell hit with a criminal referral. Yeah, that's not good, guys. I don't understand why. It's just so unnecessary. Trump allies have been going after the embattled Fed chair. They just these sycophants. The sycophants just want to do anything, guys. It's just God. It's Florida. Oh God, she's a nutcase. Jesus. All right. Did you guys hear that cool little beat? Just, that's what happens when you go live. All right, here we go. We're turning that down. I don't know, guys. I say, you know, whatever's going to happen is going to happen, right? I say at this point, just keep making your money. Keep making your money. That's the best we can do. Which broker do you use? I use three different brokerages. I use Webull, I use Robinhood, and I use Charles Schwab, as well as Fidelity. My wife is in Fidelity and Charles Schwab, but I trade her portfolio, so I say four brokerages, which is yeah, nothing wrong with that at all. Because we have our retirement accounts, and then we have the long portfolio, and then there's Webull and Robinhood, which is kind of like the everyday, buys and sells we do. That's kind of like our play money. Um, so the very serious stuff is kind of under lock and key. Not to say we don't trade with that, but those are, usually the three month or 6 month covered calls or cash secure puts, and we don't really move those. I don't, unless there's like a very violent move. Um, I'll go in and I'll reassess, right? But the everyday trading I do on Robinhood and Webull. So and I think it works for me. I recommend Robinhood and Webull because their operating systems are just so easy to use. And when it comes to covered calls, as long as you have a good internet connection, you're fine. Day trading restraints to be loosened. Oh yeah, you said that. Bro, not to buzz your bubble, but Hawaii considers AC a luxury. So get used to fans. I know that. I know that. But you know what? I trade in the stock market, baby. So I will have AC. How's that? I'm okay paying $500 a month in AC if it means I'm going to be very comfortable. It all comes with the territory, right? Like you can't have it all. Like if I was to move to like Costa Rica, or Argentina or Vietnam even, right? I would definitely need AC as well. So it's the same thing, man. I just have AC everywhere. It's all right. That's why we trade, right? Um, when you come out, let me know. I'll let you know when I'm out there, brother. Maybe we'll catch a meal, and we'll see what the market's giving us. We'll talk shop for sure. Let's see. CKT saying Rocket Lab Cash Secure puts 5 for August 15th at 48 for 519 each. Is Rocket Lab green today? I just, again, I don't like to. Yeah, Rocket Lab's green today. Oh yeah. I mean, I'm sorry, red. You're looking at August. See, I would go to September, man. Even October. Let's go to October. Um, $45 cash secure puts for Rocket Lab. Get 620. 620. Why not? Why not? Instead of going 48, um, get 620 and go 45. So you're basically down even more, right? At 45. So you're basically daring the market to come get you and you're getting more money. You are giving a little more time, but remember, time is money. Get paid. So lower strike, more premium. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing. Remember, your premium, what you're giving the market, you're a company. What you're giving these companies is your time and your money. Get paid, brother. Get paid. Mr. Lucky saying, bro, during weekdays, go to a place called the Lunchbox and get their spicy mochico chicken. You won't regret it. I love going to little holes in the walls, man. Those food trucks are everything. I also like the Matsumoto shaved ice. I think it's on the other end of the height. Wait, hold on. Jesus Christ, where is it? It's I'm trying to think. It's not in the front. It's in the back of the island, and it's Haleva. It's in Haleva. So Matsumoto Ice, and I love that place, man. It's really really good. Um, Only cash accepted. Yeah, that's how they do. I like that. That's fine. That's fine with me. Stuart saying, got to go work, Savage. Speak soon. Take it easy, brother. Have a good day at work. Hopefully you made a couple of dollars and it made sense for you today. JJ Hector saying Rocket Lab taking a breather down 6.5. Today's the day to write cash secure puts on Rocket Lab, guys. Today's the day. Today is the day when you do cash secure puts on Rocket Lab for sure. October's 45s are looking saucy, even 40s. You write if you want to just a cash grab of like 10%, $40 cash secure puts at 385. Ask for 385, you're good to go. I don't see the problem. I mean, it's there. That's a great write, man. Hopefully you guys wrote some cover calls on that on Rocket Lab. For those of you who have Rocket Lab, and got paid some nice money. The Economist is saying the Economist has trumped damaged the dollar. Yes. How badly will it become clear in the next crisis? Or how badly will become clear in the next crisis? Guys, just the simple fact that BRICS is now not using. I mean, BRICS is basically trading. It's BRICS is trading, and they're using their own currencies, and more countries are signing up. So that's not good. The gold standard was the dollar, but now they're going to start trading in euros, in the sterling pound, in their own local currencies. I mean, this cannot be good, right? I don't think people understand just how damaging that is. But again, we are what we are in the stock market, right? So let people figure it out as we go forward. Right now, I'm going to keep doing the cover calls, and I'm going to keep selling cash secure puts. Yeah, don't buy any NFTs that Trump is selling, right? Or any type of fucking digital coins. I know, not at all. Roaring is saying she like Weeble layout best. Visually, it's easier to understand it. Fidelity and Thinkorswim. I like Thinkorswim. I mean, it's not, it's not as colorful, right? But I like Thinkorswim, man. I like TraderView. I mean, look, everybody has their own niche, right? And whatever's easier for you, as long as you're comfortable, that's what matters, right? So that's just the way that I look at it. However, I'm comfortable. Anyway, so the stock market's down, huh? Yeah. Look at Unity going down. RXRX is going down. SOXS is going up. I love it. That's the Direction Daily Semiconductor Bear 3x shares. Semiconductors cannot always go up. Right now, the SOXS is basically a hedge against semiconductors, and it's a 3-time leveraged um, stock, right? It's an ETF basically. So whatever happens with semiconductors, if they go down, it's leveraged 3 times. So you can make a lot of money. And right now it's a 52-week low. It just hit a 52-week low today. So I'm gonna buy 100 shares because I'm averaging down at this point. Why the heck not? Why the heck not? Boom. There it is. I like my semiconductors, but you have to guard yourself against any drops. And I think right now with these news and with everything that's going on globally, I don't know. It's not looking great. So I'm just gonna buy some more shares of SOXS. And let's see, Arch is down 6% today. All right. I have some $12 covered calls that are now down. Beautiful. So let's see. If I was to do a cash secure put on Arch for the $12 cash secure put will give me 167. You know what? I'm gonna do that. $12. Let's do it. There it is. I am asking for 167. Archer $12 put expiring October 17th. It is there. You guys can see it live. I'm asking for 167. Will I get it? I don't know. But it's there. I can see it. It's placed. And now you guys can see how I trade. So you get a better idea. I'm going to take I already own Archer, but I'd be averaging up. However, I want more shares. I like the stock. I like what it's about. I think I like where it's going. And I think, oh my God, open is at $4. I love it. I love it. My $1 puts on open are now 16 cents. I let's see what happens. But yeah, no, this is not going anywhere. Wow. Wow. Open is running away, man. I like it. I don't want to buy those $1 puts back. I'm gonna let the market just take me out. I'll buy them for a cent. I'll buy them back for a penny, just to say fuck you to the market. There it is. My order to sell to open 1 contract of Arch, $12 put for October 17th has been filled for an average price of $167 for contract. Boom. Somebody's doing January 2026, $11 cash you can put for 188. That's Lisa. I like that. I like that. Why not? Why not? It's good. It's you're basically going under $10. You're buying at what 920, 912. Beautiful. And I like it. It's beautiful. You're taking a good position. It's a good company, and there's nothing wrong with that. And if for whatever reason, it's $10 on that date, you're already up. You're already up on that 88 cents. So that's beautiful. And then you can wait for a day that it's green, 5% or more, and then you can sell some covered calls, some 12s. Sell some 12s out 2-3 months and bring in a dollar or two, right? What is wrong with that? Nothing at all. You're here to make money. This is why we're here, guys. We are here to make money. And there's more than one way to skin a cat. Let's skin a cat however we see fit, as long as we get a naked cat at the end of the day. That's the way it works. So let's see here. Rocklab is taking it in the chin right now. Yes, sir. I like Weeble too. Spain is just beautiful. Seville, Cordoba. Yeah, you know what? I've been to Spain, man. I've been to Barcelona and I've been to Madrid. I didn't make it to San Sebastian, which is it's in the works. But I definitely love Barcelona. Barcelona was, oh my god, it reminded me of San Francisco. Um, Such great culture, so much great food. We had a blast. We were there during the summer, so I remember um, sitting down with my wife, and this I gave her that trip as a present for her graduating college. She worked so hard to graduate, and it took her like 8 years, 7 years, because she was going to work full time, and then so she was doing school kind of part time, and she was just taking a lot of credits. She would wake up at like 5 in the morning, to go to work very early, and then she would then go to school from like 4 to 8, and she would do this like Monday through Friday for a while, and it was just, oh man, I just saw her. She worked so hard, and I told her, when you graduate, I'll get you a surprise. And then she graduated, and I said, we're going to Europe. So we ended up going to Europe, and and then we ended up, traveling to Spain, and we stayed in Madrid for a little over a week. We stayed in La Latina area of Madrid. Amazing food, great people, and great wine. And it was so hot though, because it's a dry heat. And in the summer, I remember we would walk 3 blocks or 4 blocks, and we would be like just parched, and it was so hot. And then we go into like there's bars everywhere, um, and we'd sit down and we'd have like 2 or 3 beers, and then they would bring out food, which is tapas, for free, and then we just like drink and then like eat tapas, and then we go to the next one and drink. 4 blocks later, we're so hot, we drink a couple of beers, again, and then they bring more tapas, and like all these places have different tapas. So we ended up tasting so many different tapas, and by the fourth, fifth bar, we were fucking lit. And then we go to like the Prado Museum, or like to the palace, and then we just, man, we were like kids. And my wife really enjoyed that trip, and I really got to know her as a person. Um, then and then we did so much, and then we went to Barcelona, and then we sat down in front of Barceloneta, which is like their beach, and like at 10 a.m., and we had like a whole pitcher of cava, which is like champagne mixed with wine and some fruits, and then like we didn't think we were gonna get so drunk, but like by like 10:30 we were like lit, and then we're like, fuck it, let's go to the beach, and then we just like we go inside the water, and it was cold. It was very cold, but like it was so hot, So like we like go out of the beach of the water, and then it was stupid hot. And we go back in and feel so relieved. Then we cold, and we come back out. It was just, man. And we ended up to like going to like all these restaurants that were off the beaten path. We went to like this one little restaurant that looked like it was like breaking down. It was oh my god, I'm trying to remember the name of it. Um, but it was probably one of the top 3 meals I've had in my life. I mean, there was like this old man in the kitchen back there. We could see him cooking, and he's got like a wood fire oven. It's made out of clay, and he's making like these dishes, and like, holy shit, it was just so delicious. And like every dish we had was amazing. We came back there, um, and come to find out that it was like Pep Guardiola's favorite restaurant. And Pep Guardiola then was like the manager or the coach for FC Barcelona, which is the football team, the soccer team, right? For football. And it was awesome. I love Spain, man. I would move to Spain. I would move to Spain. But I would probably move to Alicante, because it's like Barcelona, but it's not as packed, and I have kids, so for families it's better. It's an hour away flying, or like 45 minutes away flying if from Barcelona. So if we wanted to get our Barcelona fix, we could just fly. And yeah, Alicante, I was looking at actually with all the stuff that's going on in the United States. If it gets like really ugly, I think we're just gonna hit the road with my family. We're all good. We all have our passports, and we may just take a hike for a couple of years. Again, I can trade from anywhere, right? So I have a pretty robust portfolio, and I see that the cost of living would be less. The big thing with medical, like I was explaining, I think today on Uncle Bruce, but there's ways around that. Like I think in Spain, it's actually universal healthcare, but you can also buy private healthcare, and it's not that expensive. And I think like I don't know, 400 euro or 300 euro a month, I think covers the whole family, and then we would have access not just to the universal healthcare, but we'd also have access to private practitioners, which would be cool, especially if they're specialists. So I mean, we looked into it. Trust me. Um, Same thing with Costa Rica. They have universal healthcare, and we have to pay for like private practice, but it would be such a lesser amount than we do here. But I'm also covered through work. Um, but I got to come out of pocket with a percentage every time I go see the doctor, and then there's um, you have to pay to see the doctor here, right? You got to pay that premium they charge you when you come in. So I don't know. Again, it's all about doing the research, right? But at this point, staying put. Kids are going to start school. We'll see what the next year or two look like, and hopefully it doesn't get horrible, right? We're just hoping for the best. We're in California, so we are buffered to a certain extent. But you see the news, and then you see what's going on to people, and the way that things are going, and I just don't like it. So I try to not watch the news as much. And whatever time I do have free, I'm with my kids or I'm researching the stock market, right? So, anyways, I digress. Um, Thanks for going live, Savage. It's nice to have a place to chat and ask questions, learn. Yeah, that's exactly why I'm doing it. I figured Uncle Bruce is only going to do this for so long, right? And then he's going to really start retiring. I figured I like the community, I like the people, and we have to have a place where we can all go, our safe space, right? Right. And then we can socialize, and we can learn from each other, right? And we can talk trades. And I think it's cool because people gives people like a place to be at, and keep it going, right? I don't want to lose this community. I don't want people to feel like they lose the community, and then especially people that get started trading and have all these questions, and then like they want to know more, and it's just really hard. And sometimes it just helps to have a talking head, right? Because you guys can obviously socialize and ask each other questions here and whatnot. And I'm here and I can read it, and then you guys can expand on that. So Lisa's saying, I'm trying to sell ACHR January 26, 188. Yeah, yep. I get yes, indeed. San Sebastian is just awesome. I have not been there, but it's in the works. Dude, some of the best food in the world, some of the best cuisine in the world, and I'm trying to go to there. All right. Um, Hector saying, bravo to honor your wife in that way. She's a good person, man. She's a very decent human being, and I love her very much. Um, I found a good wife. I found a good wife. We dated a long time. I also wanted to enjoy her. I know that sounds selfish, but I am a selfish person, and she knew that, and I told her that I wanted to like really get to know her and like travel and all this stuff. And we didn't. We waited like 10 years to have kids, but we traveled a lot. We got to know each other. We got to know the world, and it was really cool the way it happened. And I couldn't have found a better mother for my children. She definitely balances me. She's very different than me. I'm more outgoing, more out there, a bit sporadic at times, and kind of crazy. My wife is calm, collected, and quiet. So it works. And our children are kind of a mix, but they have more of my traits than do hers, and it's kind of crazy because when my children get on one, they get on one, man. All right, so let's see here. Cheap wine compared to Napa's outrageous prices. All the Aria of Rioja is just great. Yes, yes. There's $1 wine in Spain, and it's insanely good. Not gonna say it's top shelf, right? Because you're getting $1 wine, way above what we get here in the U.S. They have just better. They just have better wine in Spain, man. I think Spain, Portugal, France, top tier wine for sure, and it's just really good wine. Um, let's see, Mr. Lucky saying Savage. I think Algoruz is ignoring me. Can I get an invite to the Discord? Oh shoot. Yeah. You know what? So, Mr. Premium. So yes, I'll work on that. Lucky. Let me. I'm not ignoring you, but I have to ask the Discord. I don't run it. Uncle Bruce doesn't run it. They we run a tight ship there, man. I'll tell you that right now. And people have to okay it. I'll ask Tip, who's kind of like the main person. She's in Germany though, and great person. We don't deserve her. I'll tell you that right now. But yeah, or we don't deserve Tiff. That's what I meant. Um, but I'll ask. Premium is saying, have I considered moving to a lower cost state? No, no. I love California, dude. I love California, and I do know that the cost of living elsewhere would be less, but I would have to pay $500, $600 in Texas for AC, and then the wages are not as good. My wages would not be as good, and I would have to travel. I don't want to travel. I like working here locally. I like just working in the Bay Area. I get to see my kids every day. I get to kiss them goodnight and say good morning to them. I get to go drop them off at school sometimes and pick them up from school. I get to make them meals, and I would lose that. So the cost of living somewhere may be less, but I would make less money. So it kind of evens out. And I'll tell you this right now, we're not hurting, right? Um, but it's not the cost of living that's the issue. I think more so it's just the political environment that the country is in right now and all the negativity my kids are seeing. And even I noticed that at my kids' school, um, there's certain parents that just look very uneasy and nervous, and you could tell it kind of it filters down to the kids, right? And you can just tell some kids are really scared. I think actually one or two of my little boys' classmates were taken, or their parents moved, and that's really sad because my kids, he's 6 years old, my daughter's 10, and my other one is 3 years old. He's about to be 4. It's not a conversation I want to get into with them, right? About how this country is rounding up and kidnapping. I mean, let's be honest with what's going on. They are kidnapping people from the streets because they look a specific way, to meet quotas and to serve a political purpose. Um, it's terrible. I do understand that yes, there's certain pathways that you need to take when you're in this country, but it's not criminals that are suffering, right? When you start taking women that are dropping off kids at elementary schools and kindergarten, and they're screaming, telling you nobody's there for my kids, and those kids are in school, and I mean that's terrible. That's terrorism. You're terrorizing people. That's the truest definition of terrorism. I don't want to get political. This is just me talking what the dictionary says, right? That's exactly what the dictionary says. And so I don't want to even think about my kids going through something like that. We're all, here 100%. We're good. And we shouldn't have any problems. But what if we're driving somewhere in California, right? Because we drive, and then someone takes us out of the car, and they just this whole thing, just because we look a specific, we look a certain way, right? And I think that's not cool, man. Um, and so that's kind of more the reasoning than the cost of living, you know. So again, we're gonna see how things pan out. Um, but if it gets like bad, I don't know. We're gonna have to talk about selling the house with my wife, and then you know, for a couple of years, maybe moving to like Japan or Portugal, Spain, Costa Rica. You know, we've even talked about El Salvador. El Salvador is the safest country in the Western Hemisphere. So, I mean, we don't know, dude. I just, I hope not. I love this country. I love my country. You know, I think we are way more alike and have way more in common than we do differences in this country. And I think we're being used as pawns. And sadly, a lot of people don't know that they're being taken advantage of. And you're kind of starting to see cracks, right, with this thing with the files not getting released when they were promised to be released, and now you have the base saying, "Dude, release those files." What the hell? And there's a reason. It's going to hurt some Republicans. I'm not saying that there's no Democrats there. I'm sure there is. But I mean, if you're going to do something across the board, do it across the board and let things happen the way they're going to happen, right? If that's your spiel, don't try to mitigate, to cover your friends or yourself. I don't know. Anyways, I don't want to get political. Am I in RXRX? I am in RXRX. I spoke about it ad nauseum before, and I really like it. I have $6 cash secure puts on it. I have $7 cash secure puts on it, and I have well over 2,000 shares. So whatever. At this point, I'm just, I'm trying to see what the market gives me, right? And I'm not I'm not I'm not I'm not saying, I'm not saying it's gonna go to $12 right now, but it's gonna go to $15 at some point. It's all about having patience. With the market, you have to have patience. The market's not going to do what you want it to do, right? Their stock is not going to do what you want it to do, what you think it's going to do. You can do all your charts, right? And you can do all your best educated guesses to think it's going to do this, but like the market is at the mercy of so many other conditions, right? And so the stock is telling you what to do. The stock is telling you what to do. Like if the stock is down 10% today, right? And then you kind of research and you see what's going on, and they had a bad quarter, they had a bad test. I don't know. There's a hit piece there. I mean, it's red, 10 down 10%, 15%. That's your cue. Write some cash secure puts, right? It's a stock you like. Cash secure puts. For whatever reasons, we had a good quarter, or a good, Wall Street Journal piece came out talking about a specific company, like Open Door, right? It's just an example. I'm not saying that everybody's Open Door. I'm just saying your stock goes up 5-10% on a day because of whatever reasons. It's telling you to write covered calls. Now, can it go higher than where it's at? Of course. But that's where you have to then be honest with yourself and then tell yourself, why am I here? Like, why am I investing? Do I want to like cross my arms and like hope this stock goes up another 10, 15%? Or do I want to take money off the table now and sell at a higher price point than where it is? And let's say the stock was $10 as a $12, and then you say, I'm okay selling it at 15 3 months from now, and you get paid for that. Take advantage of the IV, and get paid to hold the stock. Have your stocks pay rent. You should think of your portfolio as you would a building that you own. And in every stock, every company, there is a tenant. They have to pay you rent. They have to make it worthwhile for you to own them. If not, it just makes no sense. Otherwise, just become an investor, buy a company that be severely beaten down, hold it for a year and go away. That can happen too. I mean, that's all up to you. But if you're in here, it's because you're curious about cash and cure puts and covered calls and generating monthly income, right? This is what I do. This is what I do. And so, and this is what I do because, like, I mean, I'm showing you, like, it's here, right? Like, I just show you a trade just to give you a really good example of how I trade, and why I trade. Roaring saying it's really scary, and it is scary for a lot of people, man. Seriously, get a passport ID card for everyone, including kids. We're there. Jeff Glass, I'd love to live in California if I could afford the real estate. That's an amazing place, and other than gasoline, things aren't any more expensive there. Um, get a Tesla. Teslas are great. An electric car is not bad, and then there's like charging stations everywhere. So just a thought. And you don't have to buy. I mean, you don't have to buy a house. Like, you really could live in an apartment, and pay like $1,850 a month for a one bedroom, $1,500 a month for a one bedroom in a nice area. I mean, you're not going to be in San Francisco. You could find a place in San Francisco, come out to like, the Fairfield area, where rents are a little lower, and pay $1,800 for a one bedroom. You can live comfortably, modestly, and you can still make a lot of money. And you're in California. There's a lot of really cool things to do in California. Amazing food, great people, and we have some amazing places to see. I have the desert in California if I want to go and fucking ride my dune buggy over there, or we have mountains. So if you want to go hiking, we have some of the most beautiful mountains in the world. You want skiing? Go up Northern California. Go to like the Reno area, Tahoe area. There's some beautiful fucking slopes to ski down. You want to go camping? Oh my God, we have so much. You just go down. You just go up I-5, I-1. All the way from like San Francisco to like Klamath, almost Oregon, right? There's so much to do. You want fishing? Some of the best rivers. We have the ocean. I mean, gosh, we have everything in California, and that's why I love it. That's why I love the state. I love it. It is an expensive state, but you also make more money. And that's just my spiel. Let's see. Do the same. Thank you for the tip on open. Bought long calls this morning and sold 60-day short calls. I'm happy. Gonna wait for the pullback. To sell puts and a pullback. Yeah, no, that's that's what you want to do. I think that's great. Tiff is a boy. It invites are open. I'm a little behind the stream, but I have to say Barcelona was my favorite European trip. It's just as you described, amazing. They are really living. You know what? I knew Tiff's a boy, dude. You know what? I don't know why I said that, bro. Sometimes I call, cash secure puts, call calls, and it's one of the disadvantages of being on live. You can't edit, right? But yeah, no, Tiff is a great person. And Tiff writes, Tiff Um, they ride a tight ship, right, on the Discord, and great people, man. Once you get on it, you'll see that there's even more. You can see graphs from people that actually take the time to work on certain graphs for GME, for RXRX, for anything. And there's some really serious investors there. And then you'll see that it's a great community, you know. Jared saying, "What's up, Savage? What's up, Jared? How you doing, man?" Rory saying, "I miss Cali. I lived there for 8 years, and I was an audio engineer." Were you? That's awesome. I'm a video engineer. That is awesome. I am a video man. That's great to see. I have not met another audio engineer. Not on here. I've done some audio as well, just so you know. I wouldn't say I'm the greatest audio person, but I mean I can play with a Q16, right? Uh, some digital consoles. I started on Mackie, and then actually no, it was the ones that I started on were the well, Mackie 1402 was like the first bigger board, but it was a little 6 channel mixer. I think it was a Shure mixer that I kind of started with, right? It was a little, I used to run like PCDIs and such, the whole thing. But anyway, so yeah, that's how I started there, man. And I just really like video. I just moved on to video, and then video engineering and LED walls and such, you know. So yeah, the hate of California is pure jealousy. Yes, indeed. That's why I don't move to Cali. It's the people, weather, cosmopolitan, expensive. Move from Cali. Yeah, no. See, I agree. Uh, some hate, yes, I think it's jealousy, but I mean, some people, I don't think they're as jealous as they are. Just maybe they haven't really given California a shot, or maybe they don't know much about California, and I think they may let the politics get in the middle. But I mean, I've been to Texas. I like Texas. It's just too hot for my liking, man. I mean, if I really like really hot weather, I would be in Southern California, but I don't. I'm in Northern California. I like the fog. Um, I like hiking around here and not dying because it's so hot. And my kids absolutely love it. Great Asian food, I think, and that's another thing is that we really like Asian food, Vietnamese food, um, Thai food, Laotian food, and Chinese food, obviously, and Latin American food from all over. We got cultures from all over here, and I like the freedom that we have. Like I said, we could just pick up and go skiing. If we drive a couple of hours, we like go to the beach if we drive 30 minutes. We could be in the desert if we drive a few hours as well. It's so much to do, and I really like California, man. I think people, if you get the chance to visit California, do it. You're going to absolutely adore it. Um, Stay away from the cities like San Francisco because you're going to see some stuff that, I mean, it's not San Francisco is absolutely a beautiful city all over. But there's like any big cosmopolitan city, there's going to be little areas, pockets that the media, glorifies and says, "Oh, look at this piece of crap place," blah blah blah. But that's not the way it is. It's like the San Francisco city itself is beautiful, but there's also some crime. That just happens with like the amount of people. When there's like a lot of people in a very small amount of land, the crime is going to be more because there's more people, and it's an averages number game, right? So I don't know. It's like going to Dallas, right, or going to New York City. Like there's going to be more crime in New York City because there's just like millions of people in a little amount of land, and that's just the way it is. It's all relative, I think. Let's see here. Rory saying mastering audio playbacks where I would dub other languages of TV shows, films, etc. Our company had a contract with Warner Brothers. I really miss it. That's cool, Rory. That's cool, man. That's really cool. All right, let's see what the market has now. We've moved a bit. So let's see, are we up or down? I mean, I already made my moves for the most part. Look at Sentinel One. Sentinel One is a great company. You know, it is a company that um, is a direct competitor to let me tell you right now, because I don't want to say a name and then be wrong. Um, I want to say Snowflake, but it's not. It's Jesus, I can't find it right now, and obviously because I'm really looking for it, I can't find it. But anyways, um, I like it. You know, it's actually pretty cheap right now, and I see it actually going to like $30 a share. It's gonna take some time, obviously, right? But it's all about having patience in the stock market. And I decided, it ran up. I sold the $22 covered call to January, made $2 today on that, and that's a beautiful thing. Red Cat is now, oh wow, Red Cat is 987. It's down 12% for the day, and dude, I'm already down on my cash secure put. That's not good. So let's do this. I sold a $10 put, and if it goes down to like 250, the $10 put, I'm gonna sell another cash secure put, a $10 one to average down on my cash secure puts, right? And that's how you play this game. I decided to take a position on it, and that's my decision, and it's all good. Let's see here. Newsmax. Newsmax is down today. That's another company that's high risk, high reward. Again, if you don't like the politics, I get it, but it's just I'm about making money, and right now the premiums are very juicy here. You could sell a 1250 covered call or cash secure put on Newsmax and bring in $175 right now if you wanted. Actually, you could bring in 180, 185. There's nothing wrong with that. I think this everything is down right now. It's when you take positions, and why the heck not? With all this talk about Jerome Powell, I like it. Let's see here. Let me sell one more cash secure put. Why the heck not? All right, here we go. It's out there for 230, for 235. Rigetti is down as well. I like Rigetti. I like it. Rigetti Computing provides full stack quantum computing services. It serves global enterprise, government, and research clients through its Rigetti Quantum Cloud Services platform. I like it. It's down. There's another company I was looking at. Navitas Semiconductor. Oh wow, it's up 30% today. Shit. I was looking at it on Friday and I didn't pull the trigger. Now it just ran away. Damn it. NVTS. The The semiconductor and NVIDIA is in on it now. They inked the deal with NVIDIA, and it's just just gonna go up even more. Um, they are a semiconductor corporation engaging in the development of ultra efficient gallium nitride semiconductors. It's GaN power ICs, integrated GaN power with drive, control and protection to enable charging, power density, and energy saving for mobile, consumer, enterprise, e-mobility, and new energy markets. That's a mouthful. That 52-week low was 152, and it's up 30% today. Jesus, gosh, I wish I would have taken the plunge on Friday. But you know what? Like I said, can't win them all, guys. Let's see here. QUBT. Okay, QUBT's down. I sold an $18 put for $5.30 on QUBT, and that was last Friday. I was up, now it's down. This is what happens with the market. You're gonna go up and down, up and down. Now you have to be okay with the strikes that you pick. It's just the way that it goes. It's quantum computing play. It's we're still years away, but it's not like the stocks are going to wait 10 years. The time to get into quantum computing is now because it's like in its infancy, right? In 10 years, it's going to be too late. In 10 years, stocks that were $10 this year, $20 are going to be like $500 a share, $400 a share. This is not how you play the game. You don't go in when the stock's already ran. You don't go into NVIDIA and buy it for $170 a share. You just don't do that. You wait for a pullback, right? And you do a cash secure put. Or better yet, you wait for it to, it was just at $90 a few weeks ago, like a month or two ago, actually 2 months ago. And I was pounding the table. I was doing $90 cash secure puts and I was buying it outright at market price in the 80s. And I just sold some covered calls. I sold some 150s that I rolled to 175s for 2027. And I think I sold some 160s that I rolled for 175s for 2026. That's how you play the game, right? You buy low, it goes up high, you sell covered calls, it keeps going higher, you roll, and you get taken out high. I mean, that's just the way you play the game. And that's how you generate income. Anyhow. All right, knuckleheads. It's been a while now. It's almost 2.5 hours almost. Jesus. Oh, look at this. Cogent Biosciences is down. I'm looking at Cogent Biosciences as well, guys. Serve. You guys mentioned Serve. It's down. It was down almost 4% earlier. Again, I'm going to wait for it to go under 11. I told you that. I think Roaring, you mentioned it, and I told you it was going to scale down. Look at Sound AI. It's $12 right now. So Sound, if you are into AI, Sound, do some October cash secure puts. The $11 strike is not bad at 150, 147, not at all. 147 strike, yeah, I would do that. Just to show you guys I'm not fucking around. I'll do that right now. I'm gonna do a 147 strike. I mean, $11 strike on a put, and for October, and for 147. Let's see if it fills. Boom. IonQ is a baby of mine, and IonQ. I was looking at it when it was 50. IONQ is the ticker. It was, I think, $15 when I was looking at it. $12 to $15. It's now 45, right? I took the money and ran away. I mean, I did cash secure puts all the way up to like 25, 30. Now I'm going to wait for it to come down. and do some more cash secure puts. If not, I'll buy it outright. I'm daring the market to give me those shares, and that's the discipline, you know. And meanwhile, my portfolio just keeps getting larger. It just keeps growing, and that's what you're gonna see. Your portfolio just keeps growing, and you're not gonna see it from one week to the next. But when you do kind of a dissection of it, and you see where you were a year ago, that's when you see a big change. And especially when you go 5 years out, you're like, holy shit. And that's how it happens. Day to day, you don't see it. Day to day, it's hard to see, but you have to have patience. You have to have patience, and you got to stick with it. Time in the market is always going to outperform timing the market. You can do all the graphs, you can have all the due diligence, all the information possible in the company, but it's going to do what it's going to do, right? Nobody really knows what's going to happen to the stock market. And so, see, this morning we were red, we were green, right? And then this news came out where these idiots want to start an investigation into Jerome Powell, and now we're down. Things like that happen. This is why you sell covered calls when your stocks are green. Take money off the table, right? And when the stocks are red, like right now, cash secure puts. And you don't go crazy. You do one or two here, one or two there, because you don't want to overextend yourself, right? You don't want to take too large of a position somewhere where you like get caught, you catch a falling knife, and it keeps cutting you on the way down. Don't do that. Just let it play out. Have patience. Neo, goodness, Neo, I like it. I'm in Neo, and I'm in the green, baby. I have 150 contracts. These are calls that I bought, which I don't recommend you buying calls. It's just personal. This is some money that I had on the side, and I was like, you know what? Let me buy some $15 calls, January 2027 strikes, because they were like at 50 cents or like 40 something cents. And then it went down to like 15 cents or 16 cents, right? And I averaged down. Again, I just talked about that. If it goes down, then you buy, you average down. Do more cash secure puts if it's cash secure puts, or calls. If you did calls, average down. And I have enough time to where I feel comfortable that it's confident that it's going to go up. Once this, 300% or 400%, if it does, then I'll sell. And then I'll take that money and buy shares at market price and then turn that into shares. And then guess what? Then I'll sell covered calls. That's how you play the game. What else do we have here? Amazon is up nicely. AMPX is down. QBTS, what are you doing, QBTS? I sold a cash secure put on QBTS on Friday. I got $4.75 for the $18 strike. It got down to $4.39 today, and it's now at $4.65. So we're just gonna let it play out. And then let time do whatever time wants to do, right? Here we go. My SQQQs, oh man, they're taking it on the chin. I got some SQQQ calls as well, and they're not doing too great because semiconductors keep going up. RXRX, it was up at $7 a share, and now it's back down to $6.54. This is what RXRX does. I have covered calls sold into I have $10 covered calls that I got over $1 for January expiry date. And I have $6 cash secure puts and $7 cash secure puts expiring in September. And I have $5 puts that expire in 2027. What's wrong with that? Nothing at all. I like the stock. Anyhow, all right, knuckleheads. It's been 2 hours and a half. And I have to go and be a dad. I haven't had breakfast yet. So I'm gonna go downstairs and listen to my kids, uh, see what's going on today. I'm sure I'm gonna go into some drama or whatnot. But thank you for watching. I appreciate you guys watching and just socializing over here, man, and letting me know what's up in the comments. I really was it was a pleasure talking to you guys, see where you guys are from. Uh let's see what happens tomorrow. I think I'll probably go on live tomorrow after Uncle Bruce again. So look for me then. And then let's see how it goes. Let's see what the market gives us. Give them nothing, man. Don't give this market anything. All these gamblers that are giving you money for cash secure puts, cover calls, give them nothing. Take from them everything. And that's my motto. Because they're just giving you money, take it. They're giving you money and take it. And don't be afraid to get into a position that you've been eyeing at, and you're just waiting for the perfect time to strike. Sometimes there is no perfect time. As long as you get paid to buy a stock you're looking at, there's nothing wrong with that, right? Buy it on a red day, and that's how you do it. Anyhow, thank you for watching. I'm the Savage of Wall Street, saying goodbye from California, sunny California. Knuckleheads, I will be seeing you guys tomorrow. And there's just keep it going with your trades, man. Keep an eye on the ball. If it helps you to write down specific trades, write them down so you can come back and look at them later. I do that sometimes. It never hurts to study. And don't be afraid to take the plunge and come on some companies you've been eyeing. I think that's getting paid to buy a stock that you want. Nothing wrong with that at all, especially in the red day like it just turned out to be. So anyhow, thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day, guys, and peace out. Take it easy. Bye.